Oh, Monday, December 6th, as we go ahead and start. Tomorrow we have NWEA testing. You'll go to first period for a half hour, then you have 2 hours of testing, and then the rest of the classes for a half hour. Except for this one, we get to have this class for a really long time. Yes. And so there are other, I feel that same way is that we will have shorter class periods except for NWEA and this one. And then you still can turn in, what do you call those things? Christmas lights or X-Men lights to still get points, and that continues through January. And then we did this for points, so we're good to go there. Then I know we've already finished the Caterpillar thing, but we're going to go ahead and run through it the speedy version.
You are terrible!
So even though we've already covered this, I just want to make sure it's fresh in brain, and we'll get to our new stuff for today. Let's back up to definition of alliteration.
The word is something repeating again. The several words repeating again.
Several words next to each other that start.
What is our example of alliteration here?
Creeping colored caterpillars.
What is honeysuckle?
Plant.
It's a plant.
Hawthorn spray.
It's a plant.
Speaker in the poem.
Caterpillar.
The only thing he cares about doing?
Eating. Nom nom nom.
And then I think that's all the fun stuff. Yeah. Stanza 2. What are dandelions?
They're flowers. Weeds. No, weeds.
There you go. They're very pretty weeds, but they're weeds.
Yeah.
And then daisies?
Weeds.
No, flowers. Definitely flowers.
The weeds.
Definitely flowers.
Oh wait, daisies.
Right. And then old man's looking glasses?
They're a plant.
Type of planty flower thing.
Like black eyes.
What are rooks?
They're birds.
Evidence
Crows.
to make it a bird?
Because it says flapping, crowing, croaking, and flying.
There you go.
Also common sense.
Old man looking glasses.
And speaker in the poem?
Caterpillar.
When all the smart caterpillars run and hide from the bird, what does ours do?
Nom nom nom.
Nom nom nom.
That's the nom nom nomming. And then why do we have to pronounce this as again?
Because it rhymes with lane.
In a little bit, when we do rhyme scheme, this is where the whole again and lane are going to come back in, and we'll see how well you guys remember that part.
Okay.
Helter skelter means?
Fast.
A lot, and like
Scattering.
There you go.
Scattering.
And
So crazily or a
and
whole
like
bunch.
What
What is our new danger in Caterpillar Town?
Water.
Rain. And technically water's correct. It's just water from the sky. Then,
Which is all
so
water.
if the raindrops are coming down helter skelter, what kind of rain is it?
Thunderstorm rain.
Sort of like what happened yesterday, thunderstorm rain. Who is our speaker in the poem?
A caterpillar.
And again, when the smart caterpillars run and hide from the rain, what does ours do?
Nom nom nom.
He shakes a little piss up there, and then just skip that part.
At least it's water.
Why do they call him a worm?
Because it rhymes with firm.
There you go, the rhyming
I'm
with
a
the
good worm.
verb. Melancholy?
Very, very
Very, very sweet.
Usually when you lose something.
Usually
when you lose something.
Depression.
Usually when you lose something, nicely. For many of you guys, you feel melancholy when you lose your B points for any number of interesting choices that you may make, and the sadness that hits you from your loss of points might be melancholy.
I feel
Mausoleum?
melancholy when I come
It's
back.
like mausoleum. No, it's a graveyard.
It's an above ground burial place, like the Taj
Which you do
Mahal.
find in graveyards.
It's a graveyard.
Unlike a coliseum, you should not fight things you find in a mausoleum. Mausoleum? Mausoleum.
Mausoleum.
Fighting things in a coliseum, good. Fighting things in a mausoleum, creepy.
Unless it's a zombie apocalypse.
Unless it's a zombie apocalypse. And even then, I would recommend running over trying to fight the zombies.
Or a child attacking an adult, which is called a what is it called? He said something about
the student revolution.
revolution. Yeah.
And then, what is our caterpillar build?
A chrysalis.
There you go. And then when it says that he's building it on the spray, what is the spray?
The plant.
The hawthorn
The leaves.
plant. What does resurrection mean?
You revive.
Come back to life.
Coming back to life. This
I
is
know.
where,
That's revive.
of course we are correct, revive. I apologize. And then that is where, what do we call things that come back to life and roam the earth?
Zombies.
Our caterpillar comes back as a
Flutter, butterfly.
one with superpowers. What are the superpowers?
Flying.
Where's your evidence?
It says beating, flutter.
The white wings and the flutter. So instead of being a flying caterpillar zombie, what is he?
Butterfly.
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 Zombie.
Butterfly.
But at the end, it says, even if I'm going to be a flying caterpillar zombie, or I am going to be dead, I'm going to miss my share of
The eating the plants.
Plants.
The plants.
Nom, nom, nom,
yes,
nom.
eating the num-num plants.
Almost there. So close.
And our alliteration in this stanza,
White wings.
before that,
Some say.
Some say.
and then,
White wings.
Flitter flutter.
With white wings. Oh.
Glitter flutter.
With white wings.
so after worms with,
With white wings.
then,
Glitter flutter.
Flutter. Oh,
Then-
yeah, looking
Sleep.
like
Sound sleep.
But that's one word. It's a
Miss mine. Miss mine.
and I agree on the flitter flutter, but if I don't mark it, it confuses kids, so I would say normally it's the same word, but I'll count it that way. It just seems to confuse kids one way or the other.
I'm tired.
I know, all that talking, right? Learning is exhausting. And when we get to our final stanza, again, who is our speaker?
The caterpillar. The caterpillar.
Caterpillar, which is like a butterfly with fewer wings. What does our caterpillar only care about doing?
Num num num.
There you go, it's back in. Oh, and the metaphor, high and swinging seed, is referring to
The leaf.
spray.
The spray.
The spray, the leafy song. And our alliteration in this one,
Hungry Harry.
The hungry Harry.
then,
One
Swinging seed.
One on.
Eat.
then,
Eat.
one on.
Eat.
And the bad alliteration is,
Eat.
there you go.
Like that's one word.
And why is that bad alliteration?
Because it's the same word over and over. It's still alliteration. It's
It
just
is.
bad.
Yeah, nice, but it's globetrotter.
Yeah, for all. For all.
Just like that one example of the kid who asked about snacks, and then said I'm going to be really good after asking about snacks, and then spent the next 10 minutes talking to kids around her. I know, this is such a... So let's, aside from harassing a child, which does bring me joy, we're going to look at rhyme scheme, our new thing to learn for today.
Okay.
We did not get this one for you guys before?
No.
Alright, do you guys know what rhymes?
No.
I've got a feeling once I show it to you, it's just
Yes.
going to bring back memories of elementary school.
Bring back memories.
I know what.
So, rhyme scheme is a code that tells the pattern of rhyme words.
Like a
Oh, I
flower.
know it now.
So, this is like on a poem, they're going to say it's like an AB rhyme scheme or an ABC kind of rhyme scheme. So, I'm going to go through and teach you guys how to do rhyme scheme here in just a moment. It's right there. It just fell.
I know, but it makes me stand up.
That's true. I bet you can grab it with your foot and like, drag it back. I was trying to help you. Nathan!
Oh, that picture up there, that rainbow one, is that 6'9"?
No, it's before 6'9" was born.
Where?
My brother drew that back in 1994 for his art project.
Never mind.
Did you like the T-Rexes or like?
Oh, you're older than
What were your best friends in the Cretaceous era?
The Triceratops. I like the little things they have in the back of the necks.
I mean, you would know. You were
I know.
around.
That's how I got back there. They're the dinosaur times. So here's how rhyme scheme is going to work. This one is not on your handout. This is just my demonstration one to sort of show you guys how it works. With rhyme scheme, we're going to assign a letter of the alphabet to each line of the poem to figure out how the rhyme is set up. So it's our code that breaks down the rhyming. You always give the first line of every poem the same letter, which is the first letter of the alphabet. Should be the easiest one every time. So you're always going to give it letter A. So then you go to the next line to figure out if the last word rhymes with the previous last word.
Skies.
So if skies
Rhymes
rhymes
with
with eyes, it gets the same letter of the alphabet,
A?
which
Okay.
is A.
I did not do this.
Then when you come down to the next one, you go blouse. Does blouse rhyme with skies and eyes?
No.
If it was
So you give it
skies.
the next letter of the alphabet,
B.
which goes to B. House
B.
rhymes with blouse, so it
Yes.
goes to B.
Yes.
So far the rhyme scheme is
Yes.
A, B, B. When you go to a new stanza, you
Okay.
do not start over. You continue on from where you left off.
C.
So you go to goes,
C.
which does not rhyme with house, blouse, skies, and eyes, so it gets letter,
C.
C.
there you go. Toes,
C.
flower,
E. A B C D. D.
there you go.
D.
Bower.
D.
D.
So again, rhyme scheme so far, you're just repeating letters. A, B, B, C, C, D, D. If you figured out the pattern,
F F.
what should the next four lines be?
E E E F F F.
A B B C
A B C D E F.
A B
E
B
E F F.
C D.
There you said E, 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 F, F, F.
Oh.
Counting is hard.
Oh.
So does hands rhyme with anything?
Yes.
Yes.
Strands.
You can only do ones above it.
Oh no.
So what letter does it get?
E.
Strands?
E.
Small?
F.
All.
F.
That's the simple version of it. Now we get to make it slightly more challenging. Look on your paper for caterpillar.
Caterpillar.
I'm going to have you do just the first stanza because some of you guys are going to mess it up and you have to go back and erase a whole bunch of letters. So figure out rhyme scheme for first stanza, and I'll pick on one of you here in a second. Any chance the kids in the hallway are learning anything?
No.
That was my guess too.
No shot.
I don't even think they realize class is happening.
Potato.
But you know what they're not doing? Distracting us.
Yes, that is true.
Alright. Seth, you ready? Alright. This will be impact learning.
Yes.
We'll see how well other kids. You don't have to cover your ears yet. Maybe he's going to get it right, or you can cover your ears.
Oh,
when he gets back.
I
Seth. Alright. What letter does it always start with?
A.
Nicely done. So then, caterpillar. What's the next letter?
Caterpillar.
That's not a letter. So what letter do you give caterpillar?
D.
Spray.
C.
Away.
C.
Awesome, good job. So just like that. So this one's a little bit different. The other one was A-A-B-B. So this rhyme scheme becomes an A-B-C-C. So then going to stanza 2. You don't get to get greedy, Seth. There's other kids to torture. All right. Student of the week. What do you got? Have you not been to your locker yet?
No.
Okay, give a poster on your locker. So have you done stanza 2 yet? Do stanza 2 first. That way you get to look at your paper to make sure. Yes. Oh, well, it's up to you, because if he makes a mistake
I'm not going
and you're not prepared for it, it could be... No, Allie, you're supposed to do it first. That way you know if it's right or wrong. You can't just give up. Or give me a look.
What?
Don't you what me?
What? Don't look bloody at me.
Remember, it's lane and again.
Oh.
Remember, we did it together?
Flame and a thing.
Yes. Here's me trying to help you. Are you raising your hands to go?
Okay. Yeah.
We'll give Isaac a chance. All right, ready, Isaac?
Yeah.
Dandelions. Glasses.
E.
Lane.
F.
Again.
F.
Is correct. Nice one. Question, Mona?
I don't get this.
How so? So as we're going through it, so as we come through here, so Mona, let's have you do stanza 3. We're going to walk you through it, so it's not as painful, right? So far here, you see the fact that spray and away rhyme with each other at the end? And then these two rhyme with each other, lane and again. These don't rhyme. So that means you give it the new letter. So come down to skelter. Does skelter rhyme with any previous lines? So then what's the next letter of the alphabet? Nicely done. Does unregarding rhyme with anything previous? So what letter do you give it?
H.
Good job. You have to do a little song in your head. Does firm rhyme with anything above it? So what letter?
I.
Good. And then does worm rhyme with anything up there?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, it does.
So what letter would you give it?
I.
There you go. So a lot of it is just knowing how rhyming works. You get the rhyming down, you should be pretty strong with it. Teresa, are you ready for stanza 4? I'm going to give you a second to do it.
Okay.
Did you have to change some letters on that one?
No, I got it. She doesn't even know.
I do.
Do stanza 5.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I do stanza 6, please?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
All right, hang on. Let me switch to the new screen so we're good at this one.
Yeah.
All right.
JK.
Ready? Melancholy.
J.
J. Mausoleum.
K.
K. Wait, are you saying she's wrong? You're just preparing yourself. Just making. Spray.
L.
L.
What?
C.
It's not L. Destiny, why is it not L?
Because it matches with spray in a way, which are fields.
All the way back to the first stanza. You've got to go all the way back up to that one and see the fact that it's the same word. So what would it be?
C.
Or you could just stare at me with hatred in your eyes, which is almost the same thing. What letter did you give to spray up at the top?
C.
So what letter is this one?
C.
C.
And away.
C.
Nicely done, Schaefer. Go you. Way to be prepared. Even though you're also giving me a death stare too. You shake your head at me. You could have helped her out. Carrington! You ready for stanza 5?
Wait, because now I know
Uh-huh.
that.
That can be tricky sometimes.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
Okay.
I got
Resurrection
it. M.
is correct. Flitter Flutter.
G.
And I'm not going to go back to it because I had a lot of kids say it rhymed with that one. I don't think it's enough to rhyme with the G before, but I understand why you would say that. I would say not enough to rhyme.
Okay. So it's in.
Close.
Wait. So you just said it didn't rhyme.
Correct, but what letter comes after L?
Oh, we're doing. Wait, what?
Who?
We're not doing L. I said M.
Well, you can't do M without an L. We haven't used L yet. You can't just skip the letters you don't like.
Wait, I said okay. Whoa.
No, okay.
J K L. Oh.
No, we're not to O yet. That's farther down.
Okay. L. Okay, then after L. M.
Good. Care.
In.
All right. Small struggle, but we got there. Go you. Grant.
A.
Ooh. Y-A.
Because honeysuckle is A.
Nicely done. Going all the way back to the first line of the poem. Honeysuckle pops up again, so it comes back to A. Good job, Grant. And then caterpillar.
B.
And then seat.
P.
Close. Letter before that. What'd you say? L-M-N.
N.
L-M-N.
O.
There you go. Spelling. And
It
then
literally says that. I just didn't say it.
you could have cheated off yourself.
Yes.
Never trust that kid. So
Yeah,
then,
that kid's kind of, dumb.
so then, there you go. And this is why poetry is scary. A boo. I know, right?
Like the dude from Simpsons, except
If you have a long enough poem that you get all the way past line Z, your next one after that is AA. And line AA does not rhyme with line A. If you keep going from there and eventually get to line AAA, that also does not rhyme with A or AA. But, I mean, one, I would never make you read a poem that long, because that would be really long. But yeah, you just keep repeating how many letter long it's going to be.
I'm going to be B.
So then, we get to go to our next level up, which gets to be slightly more challenging. Busby, thanks for volunteering. So Busby's bravely volunteered to do an entire poem by herself. But Busby, with your bravery, it's all of 6 lines. But I tried to make it slightly more challenging. I'm going to read the poem to you, but it's not on your handout. It's just up here.
What?
Here's the whole poem. It says, "The fog comes on little cat feet. It sits looking over harbor and city on silent haunches and then moves on." Luckily, I'm not asking you to understand the poem. We're just going to figure out the rhyme scheme in the poem. What does the first line get? Oh, you asked, don't be scared, be strong.
A.
Good job, Busby. Then the next line. What's that?
B.
B as in Busby.
Yeah.
And then
So funny.
our next line.
C.
City. Haunches.
B.
On. With confidence. Nicely done. So if you have a poem that has no rhyming in it, then as you go through it, it just never repeats. And you'll have a poem where the rhyme scheme is just A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. You'll just go through the whole thing. So sometimes the rhyme scheme is letters that don't
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H.
Gunawan has volunteered to do the next. I'm so proud of you, Gunawan.
Me?
I only have one more tough thing I can do, which is a poem from the 1800s from Alice in Wonderland where they use made-up words in it. And these are words that aren't even real words. So Kyla, nicely done on this one. We're going to have you just do the first stanza. We'll figure it out from there. Okay. So it's a poem called Jabberwocky. So on this one, you have the words toves, wave, borogoves, outgrade. No matter what,
This is easy.
what's the first line going to be? Good job. Does wave rhyme?
No.
Borogoves?
Hey.
Outgrade. See, good job, just like that. So even not knowing what the words are, we can still figure out rhyme scheme. Braylon?
Kyle looks at iPads. I mean, Kyle goes to the library to see my iPad's face.
No, we don't need it yet. So then going to stanza number 2, Daniel. So on this one, there's not as many made-up words, but we'll see how we can continue on from there. So we come down to my son.
C, D, C, D.
Oh, look at you showing off like
D,
this.
C, D.
So in theory, we should figure out our rhyme scheme. What's the rhyme scheme?
A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D.
Without looking down here, what should the last stanza be?
E, F, E, F.
So that's how a rhyme scheme works. Let's check it to see.
Knowing the alphabet is hard.
Let's figure it out together. Hand,
E.
E. Sought,
Tree.
E.
That's cat. That's cat.
Wait, no.
G.
Nicely done.
G.
Thought I was going to get you guys on that one.
F.
And then thought is,
F.
so everyone, I was really hoping you guys were going to say E. And I was
No.
going to, no, you guys are all smarticles. Every once in a while, they'll set up a pattern and then just throw a random letter in there because poets are mean and they like to try and abuse
E,
children.
F, G, F.
So, yeah, and that's no cap.
Yeah.
That's no cap.
That is no cap.
Especially Shakespeare.
He was a special, special man. Now, let's get to our poem for today. This is going to be, it's on your handout, on the back side towards the bottom. This is another one of our speaker poems where we have to try and figure out who the speaker is. This time, it is not a famous person, but it is a speaker that you should be able to figure out. Some of you might not figure it out right away, and it might take you a little bit, but eventually we'll get there. But we're going to try and figure out who the speaker is in this one. We will need our volunteer readers again. Actually, only 2 this time, but that's something. All right, Teresa, circle stanza 1. And then we'll go student of the week, circle stanza 2. We're only going to do 1 stanza at a time. So we'll do 1 stanza, and then pause, and then 1 stanza. I'm going to read it, and I'll have you read it after me, Teresa.
Oh, I know what it is.
If you figure out what it is, just hold on to it, because you're going to help guide us, because other kids might not be as smart.
Well, I don't know what it is, but I know the character in it.
All right. Look for similes and metaphors in this first stanza. There's a whole bunch of them. Living tenderly. My body a rounded stone with a pattern of smooth seams. My head a short snake, retractive, projective. My legs come out of their sleeves or shrink within, and so does my chin. My eyelids are quick clamps. Shafe.
My body a rounded stone with a pattern of smooth seams. My head a short snake, retractive, projective. My legs come out of their sleeves or shrink within, and so does my chin. My eyelids are quick clamps.
Thank you, Shafe. So without telling us who the speaker is, because that doesn't happen until after the second stanza, first one, similes or metaphors. What's our first simile and or metaphor? Carrington.
The metaphor, my body a rounded stone.
Is correct. Comparing what 2 nouns?
Body and stone.
So I have some Barovia art to help you with this one. So whoever the speaker is telling
That's
you that
just
their
confusing.
body is like a rounded stone. So my question for this first part is going to be,
I just don't know.
why would the poet or the speaker choose a stone to compare their body to, as opposed to like a round tortilla or a round marshmallow? Why stone?
Because it's hard.
There you go. The idea being, when you figure out who the speaker is, the fact that you could knock on top of their body and it was not going to be soft and squishy, plays a role. So that's what they're going for. Then, you guys know what seams are?
Nope. Oh, little lines.
How would we not
Can
know
you
what
point
the
to a line?
are?
You would think so, doesn't it?
Can I point to a line?
Point to a seam.
A seam? Right
I
here.
think I might know a short kid in the hallway that doesn't know what a seam is.
By the way, you can point to your own shoulders right there. A seam is where the clothing comes together.
I think I might know a kid.
So a seam is just where two things meet together. So our speaker is telling us that his body is covered with all of these lines and seams, right? Has like a pattern of things that have grown together over his entire body, and the body is not soft and squishy.
I have no clue what this is.
We're going to help you. That's why we have the teamwork thing coming in. We have another simile and or metaphor. I've already picked on you, Karen. I get to pick on different kids. Farah, simile or metaphor? Comparing what two nouns?
Head and snake.
Nicely done. To understand why we're comparing the head to a short snake, we have to know these next two words. Retractive, projective.
Oh.
Do you guys know what retract means?
Yes.
Where you like
Come back.
you come back. Yeah.
Projective
Didn't
or
ask
project?
you
me.
go out.
Ask if we know what it is.
Those of you without trying to lose your pen, if you have like a mechanical pen or even a mechanical pencil,
Okay.
and you can do the little, like
Oh,
that's
look.
projecting,
Look,
and then
I
when you
can
click
do
it
that.
again, that's retracting.
Okay.
Or the airplanes, the wheels, they retract in, and then when you want to land, you want them
yeah.
to project outwards.
Oh my feet.
Or, coming up in January, when you guys have to give a speech, and I tell you to make sure you project your voice, meaning that people in the back can hear you, it means to retract means to pull in, projective means to push out.
Oh,
So with that information, what is that telling us about the speaker's head?
that the speaker's head can go out and in.
So his head can go.
Let something go.
Whoa.
It's a turtle.
Wait, do it again. Do it again.
It's a turtle.
No, he said not to say it. He loses B-points.
That good kid over there, man, they're the worst. Are you enjoying someone else's pain? Well, that's very
A
honest of
good
you.
kid. Getting.
Well, actually,
So, we're saying that the head can go inside of his body and then shoot back out. But then this part, my legs come out of their sleeves or shrink within. Not only does the head go in and out of the body, but what also does legs do?
It goes out and in
So
and out.
legs can do the exact same thing. So both the head and legs can go inside of it and then also shoot back out of it. And I believe we have one more simile and or metaphor that we're going to be able to find inside of it from there. And student of the month,
My eyelids are quick clamps.
simile or metaphor?
Metaphor.
Comparing what two nouns?
Eyelids and clamps.
Do you know what clamps are?
They're
The little
things that
chip
hold
things.
things together like
I would count chip holders. Also my binder clip that's up here on my desk, or those of you who have like shop class with Mr. Geza, the clamps that you use to sort of smash things together. So saying his eyelids can smash together really tightly. I don't think you're going to use his eyelids to keep your chips safe. But as far as the same idea, technically your eyelids are clamps.
suit yourself.
I
I
mean,
can
you
do
could
that
smash.
myself.
I mean, you could probably put a piece of paper in there and clamp it down, but I would not recommend it because then when you pull the paper away real quick, you're going to paper cut your eyeball, and that may involve screaming on some level.
Just
But
roll
hey,
it.
it's also your eyeball if that's how you want to do it. Or you could try and cramp like a pencil into your eye and just grab onto it and clamp onto it as well as you. We're going to pick up with stanza number 2 tomorrow.
I did it. I'm cool.
Those two things might not connect to each other.
Oh, it